Most of us see it as a form of power, or we know it's used in half of all sci-fi movies. But what exactly is radiation? The definition for radiation is the emission of energy as electromagnetic waves or as moving subatomic particles. However, radiation is way more complex than just a simple sentence. Radiation in the terms of waves can be shown on the EM spectrum. Radiation is split into the two categories of ionizing and non-ionizing radiation. To the left of ultraviolet rays is where most non-ionizing radiation is categorized. Non-ionizing radiation is radiation that does not disturb the properties of other atoms. Examples of non-ionizing radiation are microwaves, radio waves, and lasers. The dangers of non-ionizing radiation is less of a concern because their sources can be simply just turned off. Ionizing radiation is categorized from ultraviolet rays to the right. Ionizing radiation has the potential of changing an atom's isotope or completely changing the element into another. Ionizing radiation comes from atoms with unstable nuclei. The nucleus must lose some of itself in an attempt to become stable, which releases a lot of energy in the process. The energy released from that atom disturbs the other atoms, which will cause them to decay and release energy, which becomes a huge chain reaction. Radiation was first noticed by Wilhelm Röntgen. While experimenting with a cathode tube and cathode rays, Wilhelm noticed that a piece of cardboard painted in barium platinocyanide that he had placed in front of for protection had a fluorescent glow. When Wilhelm told his wife to put her hand in front of it, the outline of her bones showed up. "I have seen my own death," is what she exclaimed. Wilhelm decided to name this phenomenon as X-rays. Wilhelm's discovery is what drove scientists to learn more about the rays, and was what led Henry Becquerel into discovering radiation himself, and as long as the Curies to discovering new elements that emitted radiation. The biggest risk of radiation is weapons. Radiation is used for our microwaves. It is also used in most cellular devices. In fact, it's even used in our smoke detector. Irradiation is used to get rid of foodborne illnesses. The medical field uses ionizing radiation for treatment. Radiation is in fact the whole reason why we can see light and why the sun is still going. But we are not using radiation properly. Hundreds of life organisms in the oceans have been affected by radiation. We store radioactive waste underground, but however, we will not always be able to keep on doing this. But the benefits of radiation is still being continued to be researched. Recently, a group of pregnant mice were exposed to low amounts of radiation. Offsprings that were exposed to radiation had a change of color to brown fur. These brown mice were at less risk of cancer, obesity, and diabetes. If we just learn to respect radiation for the power it has, then maybe we will find more benefits instead of risks.